It will surprise no one that security cameras have captured a fair deal of shocking footage. Captured footage has prevented and solved many crimes, but every now and then a piece of footage raises more questions than answers. Here are 5 unexplained surveillance videos. Two years ago, the population of Jacksonville, Florida were left scared and confused. Reports of mysterious clowns following children flooded in, but they were soon dwarfed when bizarre footage of the clowns was made public. The clowns can be seen walking towards people's front doors. Residents have expressed the distress they felt knowing they were sleeping soundly while creepy clowns were on their property. One video has inspired more fear than the others. It shows a clown approaching a front porch. While looking directly at the security camera, it picks up a pumpkin and begins tearing into it. I don't know why anyone would do this, and maybe we never will, as their identity is still unknown. With many similar videos emerging from the same town, 2014 was an odd year for Jacksonville. In the year 2000, Trevor Deely mysteriously disappeared. He was a 22-year-old Irishman who worked at a bank in Dublin. In the early hours of December the 8th, he was at work checking his emails. He then takes his umbrella and left the office. The last anyone saw of him was this video, filmed by the Bank of Ireland security camera. It shows him walking through the streets while another man follows behind him. There is no trace of what happened to Trevor Deely. He simply disappeared on the streets of Dublin. 15 years later, his body hasn't been found, and the man following him remains unidentified. Earlier footage shows the man standing outside the bank when Trevor arrived. It's as if he was waiting for him. In 2007, Malaysian girl Nurin Jazlin was murdered at the age of 8. On September 17, 2007, a gym bag containing her dead body was discovered on the street floor. 1 month later, Malaysian police released security footage of a motorcyclist placing the bag on the street. The footage was sent to the FBI to try and get a clear image of the man's face, but their attempts failed, and the man remains unidentified. The murder of Nurin Jazlin is an open mystery. She was last seen in a local market being dragged into a white van. A mysterious van was also captured on the same day her body was discovered, and in the same location. Perhaps we are now looking at her killers. In 1996, the Australian town of Claremont was shaken by the disappearance and subsequent murder of 3 women, one of which was Jane Rimmer. On the 9th of June, Jane Rimmer spent the evening at a hotel with her friends. At the end of a long night, her friends left her outside the hotel as they took a taxi home. They never saw Jane Rimmer alive again, and the next month her dead body was identified. Surveillance footage recorded Jane waiting outside the hotel. It shows a man walk up to her and engage in conversation. Unfortunately, the camera changes shot. When it changes back to the original shot, both Jane Rimmer and the man were gone. She is thought to have been victim of a serial killer who targeted young women in the Claremont area. Her killer was never brought to justice, and it is unknown how many more people they killed. On February 19, 2013, 21-year-old Eliza Lamb was found dead. Inside a water tank at the top of the Cecil Hotel, her body was discovered completely naked, but with her clothes and belongings also in the water. Her autopsy found no signs of physical trauma, and she was assumed to have accidentally drowned. If it really was an accident, it just adds to the Cecil Hotel's long history of bizarre and tragic events. The building had already seen 3 murders. If Eliza Lamb really was the hotel's 4th murder victim, it gives us one hell of a mystery. She had been missing for 5 days and was last seen alive in this surveillance video. The obvious question is why she was acting so strangely. At the beginning, she pressed every single button on the control panel. She then moves around in a very worrying manner. Some speculate she was suffering a psychotic phase, as she was known to be bipolar. Others think she might have been possessed by some kind of ghost. It is thought that immediately after this, she walked onto the roof and climbed into the water tank where she then drowned. Why would she do this? Let me know in the comments what you think happens to Eliza Lamb. If you think she was murdered, or maybe a paranormal explanation.
Hey, is that trouble or not? They're not having trouble, are they? That's trouble of some kind, George. That's trouble of some kind, isn't it, or not?